You are wasting your Quest 3 if you're not doing these things. You probably already know that the Quest 3 is great for virtual reality and mixed reality gaming, but what you might not know is that it's much, much more than that. Today, I'm going to blow your mind with just how much more you can do with your Quest 3 than actual VR gaming. First up, let's keep with the gaming theme and talk about flat gaming. That is right, you can play a flat game on your Quest 3 from several different platforms using an actual Bluetooth controller. First of all, you actually have full support for Xbox Cloud Gaming. If you've got Xbox Cloud Gaming Ultimate Edition or whatever the top tier is called, you can actually play the entire library of streaming games from cloud gaming on your headset on a massive screen. You can play either in mixed reality or in a special Xbox themed environment, but it allows you to connect a Bluetooth controller. It doesn't have to be Xbox, it could be PS5, it could even be a Pro controller from the Switch, and you can actually get access to essentially an Xbox. That means all of those amazing titles that launch on day one for game streaming, you can play those on the Quest 3, among a ton of other amazing games. The Quest 3 is the first headset I would actually spend time in playing flat gaming. I've tried it on previous generation Quests, and the Quest 3 is the first one I can highly recommend and actually would spend a long period and have spent a long period of time in consuming entertainment. But Xbox Cloud Gaming is just the tip of the iceberg. GeForce Now also works in the browser as well, meaning you can connect to GeForce Now if you've got an account or sign up for a free trial, and you can play the streaming games on GeForce Now, which opens up another whole library of games. The amazing thing about GeForce Now is it actually connects to other digital gaming stores, so the games that you already own, you can play streaming on GeForce Now. That includes even games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a brand new game I have not played yet and I really need to get into and try. Needless to say, this opens up a wealth of amazing games that you can play on your headset. And remember, you're playing on a massive screen. I'm talking like you can stretch this sucker out and it can be absolutely huge. Plus, you've got spatial audio, so you've got really good audio, unless you want to have headphones that just make it even better. And you don't have to have a TV to do it. You can actually sit in your living room while someone else is using the TV and play your favorite games, which is just absolutely amazing. But again, that is not all. You can actually play almost any of your consoles, Xbox, PlayStation 5, Switch, on your headset using it as an external display or a massive screen, if you will. This is using the HDMI Link app that Meta came out with a while back. You do need a capture card of some kind. I have not personally tried this method yet because I just haven't taken the time to, but I know a lot of people that really love this. Essentially, it streams or takes the signal from your PS5, routes it through the capture card into your headset, and you can play it with the controller that you would normally play with, and you get a massive screen, so you don't even need a TV to actually play your favorite home consoles on. And this isn't streaming, so you're gonna get perfect quality gaming at zero latency or no noticeable latency. Now, we've talked about modern gaming and consoles, but what we haven't talked about is one of the hidden gems of this headset, and that is emulation. Yes, I'm talking retro video game emulation. Everything from Super Nintendo to Sega Genesis, PlayStation, and Dreamcast, all of those retro consoles that you have favorite games from generations past that you want to play, you can play those on your headset either with a Bluetooth controller or a lot of times with your touch controllers, because it just maps the buttons to your touch controller devices. This is all done by side loading, and it's all emulation and ROMs. I'm not going to get into that today. It's a moral gray area for a lot of people. I will be doing future videos on all of this stuff. I want to show you how to emulate stuff and how to actually make it function properly and get it set up so you can play any of your favorite retro games on your headset. But let's move on to another aspect of the Quest 3 that you're really missing out on if you're not using it, and that is just watching entertainment. The Quest 3 is a mind-blowing cinema in your hands for watching movies and TV shows, among other things, which we'll get into in just a second. There are several different ways to actually watch movies and TV shows, whether you're talking about big screen VR, which is a application you can download and you go into actual cinemas or different themed rooms to watch movies and TV shows. You can stream them privately from several different services, including logging in a browser to watch some of your favorite streaming services, or you can actually join public rooms where other people are streaming their own content or it's streamed content that's allowed to be public, that you can just hang out with people, meet new friends, or even jump in with a family member or a friend that you live long distance from that you don't get to watch stuff with. It's a really, really cool experience, and it takes using the Quest 3 to a totally new level when you can jump into a movie theater with a brother or a friend that lives thousands of miles away and chat and watch something at the same time. Now, big screen VR is great, but there are actually other applications I prefer to watch my content in, and one of those is called Spatial TV. Spatial TV allows you to log in to some of the top streaming websites out there and allows you to watch it on a massive screen, but it also does some other really cool stuff, allowing you to dim your environment and even having light cast from the screen on your environment if you've got it set up so that it actually feels even more realistic. I'm talking the reds on the screen flashing on your ceiling or the blues on your floor, depending on where it's positioned in the screen. Realistic stuff that really sets it apart in a totally unique way and makes you feel even more like you're in a true cinema setting. Now, as I said, there's a lot of different ways to do this. In fact, you're gonna see on screen right now, I'm gonna scroll through all the different streaming types of apps there are. And there are a lot that work really well, some that are expensive, you can actually have to buy, some that support side-by-side 3D, which, let me just tell you right now, if you have not watched a 3D movie on the Quest 3, you are extraordinarily missing out. Because just as James Cameron said in a recent interview with Boz, watching 3D content in a VR headset is the way 3D cinema was meant to be seen. I'm talking actual 3D and depth, because when a side-by-side image is combined, because you're using your headset with the two separate eyes, you're actually seeing true depth, not just simulated depth on a flat screen. It'll blow your mind, trust me, I'm not joking. But anyways, there are a lot of different applications, including some that allow you to play local files, which again, I will go into that at a later time in a different video, but this is another great way to load your headset up with movies and TV shows if you know how to do that and take it anywhere with you and watch without having to have an internet connection. Now, watching TV shows and movies is great, but there's a lot more to actually consuming entertainment on the Quest 3 as well. And that includes things like 360-degree videos. YouTube actually supports 360 videos now and 180 3D videos as well. You can search on YouTube and find a ton of amazing content to bring you around the world or place you into different movies depending on how they were filmed. Speaking of that, Oculus TV, which I don't know if they call it that anymore, or it's MetaQuest TV, there are some crazy cool 3D movies and 360 movies that you should watch. If you haven't checked them out, check out Oculus TV. There's some amazing stuff by David Attenborough. There's some amazing horror stuff that has real actors, and it feels like you're actually standing on set while they're doing this movie, but you're actually able to look around at what's happening. It'll change the way you see cinema, trust me. You can even watch concerts in 3D on your Quest 3. That's right, they have a concert series you can watch depending on who's on stage at the time. It'll vary, but you can watch from a virtual seat and watch a 3D movie, and it'll feel at least close to like you're actually seeing the concert. But one of the things that I think is one of the most untapped places of entertainment consumption is sports. There's actually an application called MLB VR, and even though last year was a thing, it didn't get great ratings, this year it seems to be doing a lot better. What it does is actually allows you to have a giant screen, and you can actually sit in a ballpark as well. I'll put pictures up here on the screen because there's not actually a trailer. And you can watch the game and physically look at the ballpark below, and it'll put indicators where the people are on base, what the pitch is, and where the hit went, all that kind of stuff. Think of it like an immersive version of one of those websites you'd go to, and it would keep you up on the ball count, the strike count, and what inning it is. This allows you to watch it and physically see it, which is a totally cool experience and something that not a lot of people know about. And it's not the only sport that does that. NBA partners with Meta every year, or the last couple of years, to bring virtual NBA games to the Quest as well. I think there were 52 this past season, and it just allows you to sit on the sideline and watch the game from the sideline, and it's transformational. It's totally different than you would expect it. And that's just the beginning. There are other sports and a lot of other things you can do. Like I said, there's a lot of depth here for sports watching if you're a sports fan on the Quest 3. There's just a lot there, and it's not just playing games, it's consuming the entertainment that you already enjoy in a totally unique way. Okay, so I've given you a lot to think about. There's flat gaming, you got retro gaming on giant screens, right? You've got movies and TV shows, you've got sports, and you've got immersive entertainment like 360 and 180-degree 3D cinema or videos, YouTube. There's a lot going on the Quest 3, and trust me, you are missing out if you're not using those. In fact, you're actually wasting your Quest 3, in my opinion, if you're not enjoying this aspect of the Quest 3, which not a lot of people know about, or at least not a lot of people put the time in to try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you already enjoy immersive entertainment or playing games on your Quest 3? I'd love to know what you think. And if I'm missing something as part of that immersive entertainment experience, put it down below as well so others can find it out. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button so the video gets in front of more people. Don't forget to subscribe for future content. And as always, happy questing.